All right, lastly, we're going to get some lower ab movement in. Everybody wants to train abs. We're going to start with basically a reverse crunch and like the different variations going from easiest to hardest. The easiest version is going to be either on a bench. If you're at home, just using the floor, using something that you can hold on to brace yourself against. If you're just using the floor, you can even put just your hands into the floor or elbows into the floor while you go. But all we're doing is we're doing a knee tuck. So we're going to stop before your feet hit the floor. So even if you're on a bench or the floor, you're just going to be here, allowing your hips to come off the bench a bit. The more your abs work to flex the spine. So the more your spine flexes, the shorter your abs get. So if you want to take them through a full range of motion, you want to get them stretched out and then you want to get them as short as possible. So this is going to be the first variation, probably the easiest variation for most people. If you're at home and you're doing it and you want to make it more challenging, if you have something you can hold between your knees while you're doing it, it'll make it a little bit more challenging. Make sure the ball doesn't hit you in the face when you go. So pretty much those would be the first two easiest ones. The next ones you'll probably need some equipment for. So we're going to elevate it, step it up a little bit, go to a guard hammer raise. So I would set the bench at what pretty much is like the equivalent of this angle on a bench. So maybe like a 45-ish degree angle, maybe one notch up on a lot of benches. We're going to take the seat. We're going to put it in an incline as if you're going to do like an incline bench press. And then depending on the type of bench you have, this bench is just a lift bench. So you might need something to anchor it down. So I'm going to use a 45-pound plate just to keep it in place. And then we're going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to try to keep our butt from hitting the bench when we come down. Our lower back is going to come here. We're going to maybe stop right before our butt hits the bench. So we're going to be here. And then as I keep the space between my butt and the bench, so I'm keeping my abs under a lot more tension. So my abs are going to be working a lot, like pretty much the entire time to hold myself up. And then they're going to be working to get shorter and then stretched out without coming all the way down to the bench because then the tension's out of it and we're just resting. So that's going to be the second variation of it, or the next level of challenge. And then obviously we can add the ball back again to make it more challenging. Squeezing it just below the knees. And that's pretty much how that's done. If you want to make it even more challenging, we can just raise the angle up a little bit higher and it'll instantly get significantly harder because now you're going at a much higher angle. So same exact thing. And ideally you get a bench that doesn't do that to you. And you might start cramping. But that's pretty much all of our reverse crunch sort of variations.